Most Zendesk trigger failures don't throw an error. They quietly do nothing while customers wait. This guide walks you through a structured workflow for testing and debugging triggers before they ever reach production. Triggers are automatic if-or then rules that run on every single ticket update. Zendesk checks all active triggers in order, each one evaluating its conditions. If everything matches, actions fire immediately. The ordering is critical because later triggers see any state changes made by earlier ones. Conditions are where most trigger problems start. When you use all logic, every condition must be true at the same time. Stacking status is open, and status is pending under all guarantees the trigger never runs, because a ticket can only have one status. Before anything else, create the trigger in inactive mode. Click the drop-down next to Save and select Create as inactive. This keeps the trigger from running on live tickets while you are still testing. Use a descriptive name and always write a description explaining why the trigger exists. Zendesk stores a revision history for every trigger. This lets you track exactly what changed, when it changed, and who made the change. If something breaks after an edit, revision history is your rollback path. Good testing requires planning before activation. Create test tickets that match your trigger's conditions and design both positive tests, where the trigger should fire, and negative tests where it should stay inactive. Write your expected outcomes down first so you are not rationalizing unexpected results after the fact. The ticket events log is your primary debugging tool. Open any test ticket and add onChj events to the end of the URL. This shows every trigger that evaluated during that update, which conditions matched and which ones failed. A green checkmark means it fired. A red X means conditions were not met. The events log shows the exact condition that blocked your trigger. Hover over the red X and Zendesk tells you specifically which condition failed, so you are not guessing what went wrong. The 4 most common trigger problems each have a clear fix. Impossible. All conditions where you stack multiple statuses. Trigger order conflicts where earlier triggers change state before later ones evaluate. Missing current user conditions that let customers accidentally reset status, and conflicting triggers where the last one to run always wins. Once basic testing passes, push the trigger into edge cases. What happens with an empty assignee field? Does it break on special characters like apostrophes or Unicode? Move tickets through the full lifecycle from new to closed, and test what happens when 2 agents update the same ticket simultaneously. Testing is not a one-time task. Document every trigger change before you make it. Run quarterly audits to catch orphaned references when fields or tags get deleted. Use sandbox environments for major changes if you're on enterprise. And establish naming conventions like status or notify prefixes so every trigger is self-documenting. If your trigger list keeps growing and maintenance gets harder, eesel AI takes a different approach. Instead of explicit rules, eesel reads the actual conversation and decides the right action based on context. No trigger configuration required. It learns from your past tickets and help center, and mature deployments reach up to 81% autonomous resolution. Stop debugging triggers that fail silently. Eesel AI handles ticket workflows through context and understanding, not rigid rules. Try it free for 7 days at eesel.ai.